Well, this is a little late. What was I thinking? I didn't even upload my challenge quest. It's been a couple days and I kind of just forgot about it. I got it done already, but never recorded it, so I went back in. This is my second run of it. Same squad I used before. I kind of wanted to wait and see if I could get the Sephiroth burst before I went in here, just because I wanted to use it for the video, but alas, it never showed up. But that's okay. I still have 2 more chances with free pulls with the Kyrian banner and the Rude banner, so maybe it'll show up there. Who knows? If not, I'll live. It's going to be alright. This is actually the first challenge quest in a while, I'd say, that I didn't have a burst, I think. Probably since Warrior of Light. It's probably the last one since his whole saga. But, I mean, who needs burst for Chaos, really? I mean, they're kind of overkill. Hell, if you play your cards right, you don't even need them for Lufenia. They definitely make life easier, no doubt. But I've seen a few burstless runs of Reno's Lufenia and this Heretic's Lufenia. And by seeing some, I mean I've done 2 of them as well. Yes, humble brag. Sorry, forgive me. But they weren't easy, by the way. Especially this one. Reno's was... It's hard to compare the 2. But Reno's whole thing, at least with my strategy... I'm talking about my TCC Extremes, because you can't use burst for either one of them. Or Lightning. She's banned for both of them. So I didn't use a burst because you can't. So my strategy for the Reno one was to just kind of make sure that they never got a turn. That would be with Noctis, Edward, and Raijin. So double stun and turn shenanigans, it worked out. And that proved to be a challenge, but not as challenging to me anyway as this one. Because that orb, once that starts, it's like it's like a race against the clock, and they're just throwing up awful shields the whole time. I'm not gonna lie, I hated this stage, the Lufenia for this. The blind run was fine because you can use lightning in her burst, and it's not that bad if you can use everything at your disposal. But once you start limiting yourself, God, yeah, it can be pretty rough. But got it done. That would be Gladio, Vivi, and Kurasame. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun. I am seeing a lot of people who are kind of losing it about this stage, and we were warned that was going to happen. Like, let's be fair. With all the "you will cry" jokes, which is still super cringe, there is still something to be said about that, because with this stage in particular, I'm seeing it a lot more with this one than I did for Reno's. People that are just throwing in the towel like, alright, I give up. I highly encourage you don't do that. Because I think that if you've been pulling on a lot of the recent characters, you can do it. It's going to be a lot harder, don't get me wrong, but people like myself and others have proven you don't need Lightning or Sephiroth to do this, or burst weapons. So it can be done. There's actually multiple strategies to it too. I mean, I just kind of went in like trying to wear them down evenly, because that's kind of just how we've been programmed to do multiple target fights. You kill them at the same time, and especially with the team I was running, because if you kill one and not the other one, the one that stays alive gets super pissed off, cleanses all of his debuffs, and becomes debuff immune for the rest of the fight. But if you run a team that isn't very debuff dependent, aka no Vivi because he's entirely dependent on his imperils, you can actually kill them one at a time. And no, I can't take credit for this strategy or this knowledge. I actually didn't even know that. It was actually my partner in crime, Schwifty, who showed me the way he did it. He ended the fight with, this is the highest I've seen, by the way, he ended the fight with 17 turns left still on the orb counter. Every time I've done this stage, there was 1 turn left on it whenever I got to the end. I like to live dangerously, I suppose, but it's definitely a much safer approach. I mean, you'll take more turns, but if you're good on turns and you're just more so worried about the race and getting cracked open at the end, consider doing what he did. I wouldn't really be able to explain it in full detail because I don't understand it entirely, but hit him up if you have questions. If you're struggling with the stage and you're trying to juggle 2 orbs counting down at once, there's a way to avoid that. Ask Schwifty about it, because he's done it. Yes, 17 turns left. That's pretty nice on the orb, as opposed to most clears I've seen are like anywhere between 5 and 1. So whatever works. There's many different ways to get this stuff done. Speaking of this challenge quest, by the way, I saw a really impressive run from Timeberry's Ink Welder. He used Sazh, maxed out 3 out of 3, and then Ignis and Galuf 0 out of 3, and got this done. That's the only no Sephiroth clear I've seen of this. Maybe there's more out there, but I haven't seen them. So props to you, Ink. That was good shit. So for anyone who didn't happen to get Sephiroth's LD, consider watching Ink Welder's challenge quest on this. He executes it very well. With barely any investment. 3 ingots, it's nothing. It's a budget run if I've ever seen one, so good for him. I gave Galuf the character boards because Galuf is a legend. I probably won't use him, really, until he gets his LD, which I'm definitely going to chase. But for a long time, Galuf was cleaning house, and he's still good, he's still viable, but I personally don't really have much of a use for him now that Gladio's around. Except for this challenge quest, because he's synergy and I had to use him, but it was fun dusting him off and using him again, I got to admit. Speaking of, get the counter kill, old man. Boom. Alright. So that's my challenge quest. Probably won't see you guys until the Kirin Lost chapter, unless I think of any other uploads to do before then. So, until next time, guys, take care.